Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy T, and today I got a video for y'all. The video is about game 1 of the finals. It said the NBA finals made one thing very clear. Now we finna see what they talking about. What y'all think? And who y'all got? Do y'all got Boston now, or who still rocking with Dallas? You know, somebody let me know something. Is who y'all got game 2 today? Let me know. I might not even drop this video before game 2, matter of fact. So, if the game 2 already happened, tell me who you got game 3. But hey, man, I got who I got today? I got Dallas today. Fuck it. I got Dallas game 2. Yes, Luka 40 ball. Luka 40 ball today. It's about that time, man. That's what I got. We almost at 10K, bro. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep watching. We ain't missing no days, man. Let's get into the video, though.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals featured a little bit of everything. From incredible returns, to brilliant defensive strategies, to big-time shot-making and a comeback. But the biggest storyline is just how dominant the Celtics looked, making it clear that this is not the same team from years prior. One of the most interesting topics heading into Game 1 was how the Mavs would handle Boston's 5-out offense, and right away that proved to be an issue. Typical transition defense doesn't apply when the fourth option is capable of stepping into off-the-dribble threes, but when they were set in the half court, Dallas threw an early counter, going to a zone just a minute and a half into the game. The Celtics used Tatum as a screener to get the switch before setting him up in the middle, and right here he should have gotten the ball. Holiday misses him though, and Jalen comes off a screen for a 3 that doesn't drop. However, Jalen was the one who got their offense going in the first. Here he's able to beat the zone by attacking the middle, which collapses the defense and leaves Derek White with a great look from 3 for another miss. They get the rebound and Jalen gets an open 3, same exact result. The thing about this team, though, is that as long as the pressure is being applied consistently, it's only a matter of time before the shots start falling. On this one, it's Horford who gets a great look from the corner and he knocks it down. For this reason, if you want any chance at stopping Boston, it's imperative that you don't let their wings touch the paint. And Jalen just couldn't be contained. On the other side of things, the Celtics did what many expected and put Tatum on the 5. That leaves Horford on Derek Jones where he can roam the floor as a paint protector, and they made it clear that they would not respect Jones as a shooter. It was Jalen who got the Luka assignment, and that's one of those rare offensive players who can pretty much get a bucket at will, but Jalen did a really good job. He met him with constant ball pressure to make the offense start a touch further than it typically would, this time picking his pocket and leaking out in the open floor for some free offense the other way.
See, that's one thing right there, bro. You can't depend on that. I ain't gonna. That's great defense. Don't get me wrong, that's great defense. But you can't depend on that every game. Jaylen Brown not gonna go get you. He not gonna go pick Luka pocket consistently every game. You can't depend on that. You feel me? So if that's what you begging off, you feel me? Just constant pressure. It was Luka first finals game. He had a little bit of nerves. He still had 30. He had a little bit of nerves though. Let him calm down. Let him slow the game down. Let the game come to him though. It's gonna start being different. And y'all, Jason Kidd not good at game 1s. I hope y'all know that. He's gonna come out with a whole different game plan, bro. It's gonna be a whole different ball game. Like Gafford gonna look way different game 2. Watch what they do with Gafford. I don't know what they gonna do, but they gonna make him do something because he wasn't doing nothing out there. He was just out there just to be out there. You getting guarded by Tatum, bro. You know what I mean? You should be putting him inside the rim or something, bro. We gotta do some pick and roll actions or some pick and pops. Maybe Gafford can't even play. Maybe we get somebody that can shoot in the game. You feel me? Or maybe y'all get Dwight Powell in. Maybe Dwight Powell get some tick again.
Whole idea of this Tatum at the 5 strategy was to neutralize the Mavs rollers. If they want to attack Horford, they'll have to use one of those wings as the screener, to which it becomes a lot easier for the big man to execute standard pick and roll coverages. For the most part though, Horford just switched onto the ball, and I'll be the first to admit that I was really surprised with how well he held up in space.
Horford played great defense.
Instead of a wing, and then switches, the dynamic is a little bit different. Not only is Gafford a much bigger threat on the roll, he's also harder to contain on the offensive glass. So the first few minutes ended up being pretty evenly matched. The Celtics found themselves up 12-11 when Kyrie forced a turnover and drew a foul, but now it was time for Kristaps Porzingis to enter the game. You've got the same strategy.
Kyrie gotta be better, bro.
If Luka wants to attack
A lot
Kristaps,
better.
it's going to be a wing setting the screen. On the first one, they try a blitz, and Luka easily splits it on a drive where he gets to this ridiculous finish. Next time it's Kyrie, and Kristaps sits back in a deep drop to protect the paint. That leaves Jones wide open on a pop, but like I said, they aren't respecting that shot. And when you're able to play Kristaps,
maybe Jones can't play.
Drop with
and that's
a
just
wing rolling
that's
instead
too
of
bad.
big,
You
he's
feel me?
able to completely shut off the paint, as he's one of the best rim protectors in the sport. The risk with playing this,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is no hating. Derrick Jones might not be able to play. If they not respecting your jumper and you not making them respect it, that's one strike right there. You can't play off that. Or if I'm coaching, you can't play just off that right there. And another one where we giving it to you down low and you can't score. Or you cutting and we giving it to you and you getting your shot blocked. You can't play, bro. Unless you playing lockdown defense. And you wasn't playing lockdown defense because y'all was down by 30. You feel me? Maybe Derrick Jones can't play. Maybe we're going to see less of him today. You feel me?
Though is that it can leave Luka with too much space. On this one, he starts to drop.
They don't really got nobody.
By the time he realizes he needs to step up, it's too late.
Kleba.
But when Luka checked out, the offense completely fell apart. Now it's Jaden Hardy coming off the screen, who's not exactly the same sort of threat, or it's Kyrie, and he's hunting for a switch onto Sam Hauser. The thing is, Boston's okay with that. Instead of giving up a numbers advantage, they'd rather let them get the switch and stagnate the offense with one-on-one ball. Then when Kyrie attacks Kristaps, it's a high drop, to which he not only protects the rim, he blocks a pull-up jumper. The most notable effects of having Kristaps on the court were felt on offense, though. Of course, he's a big-time floor spacer, meaning that when Tatum drives, there's no help at the nail. That makes it a lot easier for him to apply pressure before kicking it out to White for a corner three. This wasn't even the Mavs' biggest problem. That was the way
Porzingis got here and scored every time,
and absolutely abused mismatches in isolation.
Every time he got there, he scored
almost every action.
Look,
and hoped that by forcing him to catch the ball further, they could take him out of his comfort zone. Well, that isn't at all what happened. Even when they send Lively over early to load up on these plays, it has virtually no effect because Kristaps isn't trying to get into the defense, he's just shooting right over it.
You can't let him get there.
He had his hands every bit as full. On this one, Kristaps appears to be setting up a dribble handoff, only to keep the ball on a drive where he makes it clear just how recovered he is from that injury.
That's on Lively, though. You gotta be ready to guard, bro. You can't be ready.
How deadly he is from behind the arc. In transition, most bigs are used to first dropping back to the middle, then finding their man. Against a 7'3" unicorn who can step into 30-footers, the rules change a little bit. And by this point, the Celtics were firing on all cylinders. In the final minute, you've got Sam Hauser hitting a tough transition three of his own to put them up 17. That takes us to
that shot right there. That hurt.
Tatum gets stripped on a drive, and it looks like the Mavs might be able to close the quarter on a strong note. Kristaps had different plans. So through 12 minutes of play, the Celtics hold a 37-12 lead, and that
he gotta go up with a different finish,
margin
bro.
Is the
I ain't gonna lie, you're not banging on Kristaps.
First quarter in NBA Finals history. In quarter number.
But the thing is, right there for that first quarter, right there, man. Porzingis ain't gonna come out and score 11 every first quarter, though. You know what I mean? His first game back, he hyped the crowd with him, they cheering him on when he come in the game. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen again. It's not. I'm sorry, but you know, the momentum can only rise so much. Now, when the game slow down and everybody settle in, let's see how they really gonna hoop. Cause it ain't gonna be a 17-point lead after the first quarter. It's not gonna be like that every game.
Suffocating defense picked up right where they left off. When Derrick Jones screens, Horford's gonna switch on to Luka, but what I want you to focus on is Jalen because he doesn't follow Jones to the corner. Instead, he sits in Luka's driving lane, not letting him get to the rim. Yet he still
Why is he not hitting there though? You gotta hit corner.
And they did the same against
That was
Kyrie.
Luka only assist for the
Like
game.
I said, they're comfortable leaving him on Hauser, and Holiday has completely abandoned Jones in the weak side corner. Sometimes, though, great defense is just countered by better offense.
That's a great
However,
finish.
that was not the case in this game one. They let Kyrie play one-on-one all night, and he really struggled to get anything going.
Like, Kyrie, you gotta
Some of
take
it was
him, bro.
Missing shots
I'm sorry.
he normally makes.
Pritchard
but
can't guard.
Also, the guys who are supposed
There's no
to
way
be
you letting
mismatches
Pritchard guard you.
held up way better than expected, especially Peyton Pritchard. As for
Kyrie
the
not
Celtics
missing those in the
offense,
next game.
with both Tatum and Kristaps on the bench, it was all about Jalen. He was hunting for that Luka matchup and getting pretty much whatever he wanted. All playoffs long, the Mavs have been comfortable switching Luka onto the ball in these situations, but Jalen's explosiveness is on another
Clean.
level, easily beating him off
Go
the dribble
upstairs.
for this
Hey!
massive dunk. And this is where Boston's 5-out makes things impossibly difficult on the defense, because what the Mavs like to do is put Luka on the ball and then have everyone else sink into the gaps to prevent drives. The only way you can do that against the Celtics is by leaving a great shooter open and hoping they miss. A few minutes into the quarter, it was time for Kristaps to return, and this is when they went to their double big lineup. Horford switches onto Luka, and notice how he sits on the left hip. That takes away the step back three, forcing him inside the arc, where he's running into the 7'3" wall that's parked in front of the rim.
And Lively
Then when they
gotta
force
he gotta
Kristaps into
and
the
be in
action,
a better
he's back
position,
in
ready
that
to
deep
dunk the
drop,
ball.
leaving PJ on an island above the break. The Mavs are gonna need these shots to start falling if they want any chance
See,
at
like, bro, this is why I say, don't give up on the Mavericks yet, bro. That's a great shot right there. He wide. Look at this. Ain't nobody around him. He just missed the shot. Y'all think they gonna keep just missing? No. No, next game they're gonna be locked and loaded, man. They're gonna be locked and loaded. They're gonna be ready to knock those down.
at winning this series. Because if not, the Celtics will just put all of their focus on Luka. And the reality is that as good as he is at scoring one-on-one, this diet of shots is not efficient enough to keep up with what Boston's doing on the other end. So they tried something different. They took out their bigs and put Kleba at the 5 for a little more space. The Celtics just continued to switch
Kleba's just
all of the
bad.
actions though, and basically
That's the
turned
only
the game into
tough
a
part.
one-on-one between Luka and whoever stood in his way. That's if he can get the ball past half court though, because he still has to deal with the constant pressure from Jalen, who once again picks his pocket, with the same result on a free lane to the cup. To make things even tougher, Boston even incorporated some pre-switching during this time, meaning that when Horford's man goes to set a screen, he's going to have White pick up for him while he stays glued to the baseline. It doesn't even matter though, because Kleba sets an illegal. When Horford is in the action, they're mixing it up. Instead of a switch this time, it's a hedge as he waits for Drew to recover, then the play resets with no advantage. The result? An errant pass from Kyrie that really summarizes this stretch from the Mavs. It also
Kleba
doesn't help
is
that during
useless.
this time, the Celtics were absolutely rolling on
Feel me?
offense.
You look at
Kristaps
Porzingis, he get it
continues to
here.
attack mismatches.
You know what
and
that
the
is.
guy just can't miss
It's
a
2
shot,
points.
even when they push
It's 2
the
points. He get it here every time. It's 2 points. But what y'all peep in the second half? He didn't get it there one time in the second half. And how many points did he score in the second half? 2. You gotta watch the game.
3-point line, it doesn't matter. He had 18 points in the first half and only missed 2 shots. When he checks out, they still have a 5-out look, so once that initial advantage is created, all they have to do is move the ball and it'll find an open shooter somewhere on the court. And the level of versatility that this spacing unlocks can't be overstated. By putting their 5 in the corner and a guard in the dunker spot, there's no rim protector in position when Drew gets into the defense and drops it off to White. The Mavs attempted to counter by again going to that zone, but the Celtics were prepared. They set Tatum up on an open side of the floor for a ball screen, and he uses that space to pull up for a 3,
That's a good shot.
which puts them up by
That's a
29,
great shot right there.
or double what the Mavs have. Then when they went back to man, it was right back to mismatch hunting. Tatum gets the switch onto Kyrie, sets up in the middle of the floor for an isolation, and you can really see the
good
effects
move.
of all that space.
Hey!
Next time down, they go to the exact same setup. Tatum screens, gets the switch, seals off position in the middle, but White decides to move it to Kristaps on the wing because he's feeling a 30-foot triple. This game was very quickly getting out of hand,
It's a
and
deep
it
one.
could have ended up being a one-half affair if not for the heroics of Luka Doncic. He really started to heat up, and it didn't matter who stood in his way, he was getting to his spots at will. When Kristaps picks him up on a switch, that's an easy blow-by, and when Horford loads up in the paint, nobody tags PJ in the dunker spot. I mentioned how well Jalen played him. Even he was being served buckets during the stretch, and when he once again gets Kristaps on an island, that just isn't fair. He threatens another drive before pulling back,
Come here.
where he creates a ton of space
Whack.
for a three.
So y'all see what he doing, bro? Like, let him settle down. It's his first game. Watch this game too. He gonna be like, okay, that's how y'all playing me. Y'all want me to score all the points? I'll do it. Let's do it. You feel me? Cause none of y'all guard me 1v1, but y'all want to take it to 1v1. That's what we'll do. I didn't know we was cool with Luka getting 50. You know what I mean? He didn't realize that. Now he about to realize that. Watch how he get. Man. And the defense, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Dallas just got to guard, bro. You have to guard, bro. You got to mix it up. You got to throw man, zone, boxing one. You got to throw everything you can at them, bro. You got to keep switching it up, bro, just so they can keep missing threes. As long as they missing threes, you in the game. Celtics like to take threes and kill your soul. That's the only way they can beat you. If they make a lot of threes and get hype. They don't want it to come down to clutch. Because, him right here, not clutch.
So by the end of the half, instead of being down
No hating,
29
though.
or more,
Tatum good.
it's a 21-point game.
He's not clutch, though.
Lots of work to do,
He's just not
but not
clutch.
impossible. In the third, the Mavs adjusted their defense a little bit. They started to send more attention towards Jason Tatum, forcing everyone else to make plays, and some of those shots stopped falling as consistently. When he gets the switch onto
threes
Luka
don't
and
be-
sets
don't
up
be
for
hitting every
isolation,
time.
you can see Gafford loading up early to protect the paint from a drive, and Tatum actually gets the ball poked from behind.
This is what they need to do.
Whenever Tatum comes off a
Not double Tatum. You let Tatum play 1v1. That's the thing. You let Tatum play 1v1. Because Tatum cool with giving it to his guys because he trusts his teammates. You double team Brown and make him go left and see how different the offense run. He can't go left. He can't pass with his left. Can't dribble with his left. It's going to be a way different story. Tatum going to have a lot of points and ain't nobody else going to have too much of nothing. You feel me?
screen from a big. They're putting two on the ball to get it out of his hands. And this is a good shot for Horford. It just doesn't drop.
Horford don't shoot two-pointers.
Isolates, you have that early
I didn't
load
make
up.
it.
Not just from the wings sitting in the gaps, but also the low man stepping up, forcing him to operate more in traffic. That's not to say he didn't have any success. On this one, he does a great job of getting down the middle, then goes up strong at the rim, and this time he sort of gets zoned up, to which he applies pressure before making the right read, but like I said, they were starting to miss some shots. Then it was time to get Kristaps back in the game, and Dallas countered with a jumbo lineup of both Kleba and Lively on the floor, the idea being to take away mismatch hunting by having more bodies to throw at the big man. It also gave them an extra rim protector, meaning those drives to the rim were made even more difficult as the perimeter guys continued to struggle from three. Like I said, they'll give up the switch with Luka on Tatum.
Look at that.
But
They
you
had it
got
down
the
back
rest
to
of the
8.
Defense sitting in gaps.
Kyrie started
Lively
selling.
waiting under the basket, and they're not really getting anything besides those spot-up jumpers. With so many stops to fall back on, the Mavs were able to slowly chip into the lead with their one-on-one scoring. When Kyrie attacks, he's being hounded by Drew Holiday, but this time Gafford's there for a putback. Even though Drew's an amazing defender,
Kyrie gonna
was
get it.
still
Kyrie
able
gonna
to
get right,
create
though.
A lot of the
Don't worry
shots
about
he
that.
typically likes to get to.
Kyrie gonna get right.
Especially in transition, this pull-up jumper is a staple in his game. He just couldn't consistently knock them down. When Luka initiates and pulls Horford into the action with a high ball screen, it's still going to be a switch. And remember, I mentioned how he's sitting on that left hip. Luka tries to adjust with a step back to his right, which isn't where he's most comfortable. Kyrie's got his back though, because next time down, he's the one who gets the Horford switch, and with some crafty ball handling, he's got a free lane to the rim. You can just see how seamless this Mavs offense was. Luka brings the ball down and Horford's man sets an early screen to get the switch, then from there they play one-on-one, and Luka once again started to really heat up. When Kristaps checks in, they go to a pre-switch to keep him out of the action, so Luka just attacks Derek White and hits a step back 3. Then when Kristaps has to defend the action, he's going to sit back in the deep drop, to
You
which
can't
Luka
do that.
steps into a pull-up
You can't do
3.
that.
Just
That's
like
why they
that,
got to
we've
get them a
an
5-out
8-point
lineup, bro. And
game.
Kleba has to play
Against
basketball.
Kyrie, it's the exact same
If Kleba
thing.
can't hoop, you
The
got to
deep
rock
drop,
PJ at the 5.
all of that space to step into a jumper, but like I said, this just wasn't his night. He shot 6 of 19, or below 32% from the
6
field.
of 19 is
And while I
crazy.
think
Look at all
some
these
of that
open
could be
threes.
attributed to the defense
Gotta
of
make
Holiday,
those.
there were a lot of good opportunities
Look
he
at that.
failed to
Wide
convert
open.
on. And I think it's
You
fair
need
to
that, bro.
assume that this is the worst version of Kyrie we'll see in this series.
That's what I'm saying.
Still, the
Kyrie
Mavs had worked
gonna
it
get
down
right.
to single digits, and right when it looked like they might be able to make it a competitive game in the fourth, Boston's defense locked all the way in. They mixed up their matchups to keep the Mavs guessing. This one starts with Holiday on Gafford so that they can keep Horford on the baseline, playing free safety to protect the rim. They're also mixing up the coverage. Instead of a switch, this one's a hedge, and watch Jalen completely blow up the play, but the possession doesn't end there, and neither does Jalen's impact.
You gotta shoot
Because
that.
they move the ball, Jones
You
thinks
gotta
he
shoot
has
the
a
ball,
dunk,
Tim.
only for another huge denial at the rim.
Derrick
And that
Jones
also
can't play.
wasn't his only big time play down low.
You can't finish on
90
Jay
seconds
Brown.
later, he again finds himself underneath the basket, and when Kyrie thinks he has a layup, he doesn't. I think you could argue that this third quarter was the best basketball Jalen has ever played, because in addition to those defensive stops, he was the one who finally broke down that Mavs defense. Instead of driving and kicking like they wanted him to, he was going right into the chest of Lively. No matter how many bodies they sent his way, he'd slash right through, getting to the big man and initiating contact, where he forced Lively into picking up his 4th and 5th fouls. That got him out of the game and made that paint all the more vulnerable. So he continued to drive the gaps and collapse the defense. Remember, I said that by applying constant pressure, the shots will eventually fall?
Tatum jump
Well,
shot
that
so
time arrived.
ugly.
So they started to get whatever they wanted. It takes 2 defenders to contain Jalen. Nobody picks up Horford in the corner, and he's got a great
Whack.
look from 3. Then for a little cherry on top, next time Jalen sets up the
I don't
offense,
know, it
he
is. It's
decides to
scary.
try
It's
his
scary
hand
for
at a
Dallas,
pull-up
man.
triple, which hits
It's
nothing
scary for
but
Dallas.
net. Just this 4-minute stretch
Y'all think
from
the series
Jalen
over?
completely changed the trajectory
Yes or
of
no?
this game.
It
Dallas
might be.
cut it down to 8, and it looked
Nah, I'm
like
just
we
playing. It's
might
not
end
over.
up with a clutch time scenario, only for them to close the quarter on a 14-2
not over.
run, entering the fourth with a 20-point lead. And in that fourth, the Mavs, well, really, Luka tried his absolute hardest to drag them back into the game.
Yeah, we know this
He
fourth
started
ain't go.
to force the issue,
I was supposed to,
attacking
man.
with intent to score,
You
regardless
know that,
of
man.
how
Hey, what y'all think? What y'all think, bro? Y'all think Dallas gonna lock back in, or Boston just gonna run away with it? It's gonna be like a last year finals, like a 4-1 type deal, gentleman sweep type deal. You feel me? I think it's gonna be a great series. It's going at least 6 or 7. But Dallas gotta lock in. Kyrie gotta lock in, you know, and all them other guys. Luka's locked. Luka gonna get you that 30, 35, 40. He's gonna get you that every single game. Everybody else just gotta lock in with my boy. You know, and let me know y'all thoughts on the series. Let me know, do y'all like this series? Is this the matchup that you would like to see? You know what I mean? I feel like this is a different matchup. Nobody thought we was gonna get this. Nobody thought we was gonna get this. You know, on the road to 10K subs, man. I'm gonna get y'all up out of here. We done did enough talking for today. Drop down in the comments some thoughts, some words on the series, you feel me? My basketball heads, my old heads, if y'all watching the finals, man, what y'all think? Y'all rocking with this finals or not? With that being said, T-Fam, I'm out of here.